Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
I've dealt with police reports from time to time. Certain cases I've had have involved them. And generally speaking, you call up the police department, find out how much they cost, who do you write to, you put together a little letter, you include a check, you send it to them, they send you the police report. Not that big of a deal, right? Well, Alex sent me a note and said, Steve, check out the story from Connecticut, where according to investigations by WFSB, a request for Connecticut State Police records could take 12 to 16 months to complete, a year to get a police report, which can really throw the monkey wrench in anything that requires one. The question is, how long is too long? So one man went to Chuck E. Cheese with his son last November, and it turned into something unexpected. He said it just became a nightmare. Someone stole his license plate. So he's parked at Chuck E. Cheese and someone stole his license plate. So he filed a report with the state police because that was the appropriate thing to do for where he was. Then all of a sudden in the mail, I started getting toll bills starting in December, end of December, early January. I just had no clue what was going on because I knew it wasn't me. It was actually dated when I was at work. So he's at work and he's getting toll bills saying that, no, you're out driving around places that you should be paying and you're not paying. Someone was going through toll booths with his stolen license plate. So he called the people who run the pass, who told him that they could not, or would not, take your pick, do anything without a police report. So he called the state police. They said, go online and request a report. So he did that, and he prepaid the state police for the report. That was in March. So he kept waiting and waiting and waiting. And he says, I waited. The toll collections kept coming in. Eventually, I got notices that they're going to collections because he's not paying these bills. So the TV station sat down with the man in July. And at that time, he was still waiting for the report. He had just called the state police again to say, hey, what's going on here? And they said to him, apparently, it's going to be 12 to 16 months. So just wait, but it'll get there eventually. He says that that's what the state police told him, and that he was simply one of hundreds of people requesting records. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if hundreds of people do request police reports from the state police. But you'd think they'd have a process in place to, I don't know, get copies to people who request them, who are entitled to them. So it should be a simple claim. I'm looking for one police report that states my license plate was stolen. Otherwise, he's looking at about $400 in tolls right now, if not more. And of course, there's late fees and double secret, this fee and that fee. And of course, the fees are going to continue racking up as long as this person keeps driving with his plate and it hasn't been disconnected from his system. So the TV station found that this man is not alone. And also, it's not a new problem. A spokesperson for the Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection, which oversees the state police, even called the issue this is a quote, long-standing problem of delays. A long-standing problem. The Connecticut Freedom of Information Commission, which ensures public access to government records, says that from 2020 to now, they've received 200 complaints against the department, with complaints about timely responses to record requests being a recurring complaint. In November of 2021, state police said their delay in a Freedom of Information Act case was the result of a high caseload in the Legal Affairs Unit, the departure of 2 staff attorneys, and the transfer of a sergeant from the Legal Affairs Unit to the Labor Relations Unit. Now, you have to ask yourself, why can't they just kick out a copy and send it to somebody? Well, there might be personal information on a police report. So let's suppose you're involved in a multi-car accident. The police might get the names, addresses, phone numbers, driver's license information from all people involved in the accident. And the question is, if somebody else comes along and says, I want to copy that police report, they may have to redact some of that information. But the redacted information is all stuff that's going to be the same on almost every single report in that's going to be in the same box. Driver's license information, probably redact that. Did they ask for Social Security information? If so, redact that. Okay? Home addresses of people? Depends, And so there's a point that you should be able to issue the run-of-the-mill police report that's got nothing important in it other than it confirms this guy's story. They should be able to kick that out instantly. Literally 5 minutes. It should take somebody 5 minutes to glance at it and go, oh, nothing there, send it. Shouldn't take a year or a year and a half. In September of 2022, the commission found the records and reports unit was experiencing a backlog and a delay of approximately 8 months. So it was only 8 months a couple years ago. In an email to the I team, a spokesperson for the government gave their most recent explanation for the delays, saying the problem is caused by the large volume of requests for reports and records, which cause delays that everyone agrees must be fixed. Okay, that sentence, the problem is caused by the large volume of requests for reports and records, which cause delays that everyone agrees must be fixed. That's a problem that's never changed. There's always been a large volume of requests. I guarantee it. It's not like suddenly there became a new rule that says you got to do this or that, or no. They're just understaffed, that's all. Or they're working too slow, and probably a little of both. Despite multiple requests, that same spokesperson said they would not be doing an on-camera interview. The man at the center of the story says, I know that with most local municipalities, you can go to the police station, pretty much walk out with them. And that is true, by the way. I actually was involved in an accident. Somebody rear-ended me a couple of years ago. I've told the story about that. And I needed a copy of the police report. And I remember at the scene, the police officer gave me a card with a number on it. And he goes, wait about 24, 48 hours, it'll be in the system. And I seem to recall that I waited 24, 48 hours. I then logged into their system, and I ordered a copy. Cost me a few bucks, and I got it. So the spokesperson for the state of Connecticut says the commissioner has made speeding up requests a priority, but this is a complicated problem that takes time to address. How complicated is it? I just think it's ridiculous and uncalled for, says the man who is looking for the report. I think they need to learn to prioritize and figure out what reports are quick to get out there. And that's the point. His report's going to have his information on it. That's it. They don't need to redact anything if they don't want to, because all the information on the report they got from him. Meanwhile, the man got his report just a few days after the TV station contacted the state police. So again, the bright light of the media, and this right here is the spotlight. The bright light of the media got somebody to jump. As a reminder, when your license plate is stolen, you need to report it to the police, but also to the DMV. State police say there are different ways to request different reports, such as accident reports can be done one way, more complex reports can be gotten from another way. Go to their website and check that out. But the point is, reports are government records, and obviously, if you're a party to what happened in it, you'd be entitled to a copy of that, no questions. As an attorney, I can tell you that a lot of attorneys who do, like, say, auto negligence work are dealing with police reports every single day. And I assure you that if they were told, oh, it's going to take 18 months to get you that report, no, that wouldn't fly. So I suspect, and I could be wrong, but I suspect that they do look at the person who's requesting the records and say, are these being requested by an attorney who's involved in litigation? Or are they being requested by somebody who is just somebody requesting a record? And I suspect they prioritize them based on that. And of course, when you start prioritizing a slow process, the people who are being deprioritized are going to get pushed even further and further back down the line, which is unacceptable. So what they need to do is hire a couple more people. And you might say, but Steve, the government hasn't got enough money as it is. Hiring people costs money. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they charge the records requests, right? So it's like anything else. Consider it a product you're selling. The more you sell, the more you make. Bring in a couple people to do the low sensitivity reports that they can just glance at and go, yep, send it. Yeah, send it. Send it. They pay for themselves. So Alex and everybody else, thanks for sending this. From WFSB, and Sam Smink wrote that. Request for Connecticut State Police records could take 12 to 16 months to complete. They say they're working on it, but they say there have been problems because of the system's kind of overloaded with people requesting records, and that takes time for some odd reason. Questions or comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. I discovered I scream the same way whether I'm about to be devoured by a great white shark or if a piece of seaweed touches my foot.